Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I have my March reading review for you. I'm trying to read 5 books a month, which for me is a good pace. This month was pretty busy. Had several things going on, like a week-long class that I had to be a part of, so I kind of lost a week of reading, and so I was only able to finish 4 books this month, but we're excited to get back into it in the month of April. But this is March's book review, so 4 books, and I'm just going to give you in order of least to most enjoyed the books that I read this year, this month. The first book is going to be Star Wars Red Harvest, and this is going to be a horror book, definitely one that is, I think, pretty polarizing for the Star Wars fans. Those that enjoy it. Those that are wanting the typical traditional Star Wars adventure probably are not going to respond too well to it, and I found myself being one of those. I didn't hate it, but pretty much what it is, there is a school, and on this pretty much remote wintry planet, and the headmaster of the school is a Sith master who is trying to rediscover the combination and ingredients and recipe for immortality. And what he needs, the final piece, is this plant. And that plant, he has been sending bounty hunters out to try to find this plant. When he finds it, he also unknowingly brings a Jedi back who is part of her connection to the Force, can speak to plants. And so, get the plant, the elixir is made. The side effect is that everyone that he tests this potion on to make sure it works, it does turn into zombies. So that is a slight little hitch in the plans. So yes, this is going to be a book about zombies. The Red Harvest there is sort of a play on plants growing, a harvest, getting something in return, and of course red meaning the Sith are a part of this. So this was the first book, my least favorite that I read this past month, and I'm trying to find what I rated this. Yeah, I rated it 2 out of 5. Just wasn't my favorite, but that was the first book. The second one is another Star Wars book as well. This is Star Wars Deceived, and I enjoyed this one a lot more. I rated this 3.5 out of 5 because the character Darth Malgus attacks the Jedi Temple when a lot of the Jedi are on actually a peace treaty trip to sign with the Sith in the Empire. And while they're gone, Darth Malgus deploys this attack on the Jedi Temple. Kind of like Pearl Harbor. That's kind of the feel of it. And Darth Malgus is a really interesting character. He loves his Twi'lek slave, Alina, and she loves him as well. But he views his dynamic with her as a weakness, his actual care and concern for her. So watching him sort of fight his lust for power and his desire to be in a relationship with this girl is an interesting dynamic. The Jedi, who's the main focus here, is Erin, and she is on the peace trip with the Jedi, and when they receive word that the temple has been attacked, her master is killed in the attack. And so she sort of goes on a trip of revenge. So she has to sort of exercise her demons as well. One of the things that I did really enjoy about this was the pace and how fast this book moved. And there's another character who is sort of a bounty hunter, sort of a spice runner is what he turns into. And he's been trying to protect his daughter and save money for her and give money back to protect her and keep her alive. She's disabled. And so Zaris is his name, and Erin, they connect. And I loved their dynamic because they both are fighting and pushing for the right thing. They may be going about it in the wrong way, but watching them help each other was one of my favorite parts of this book. Something that I found confusing, and if you go back and watch the video that I did through this, I explained it a little bit more in detail, but it seemed very convenient for the plot that like no Jedi were at the temple. Like I believe it says 50 Sith warriors sort of sneak into the temple and are let in by Darth Malgus. But it's like, where are all the Jedi? And how are they able, and like 50 Sith warriors is definitely a lot, but I was under the impression there were hundreds of Jedi, if not in the temple exactly, like in Coruscant, certainly able to get there quickly. So that was just one part that I thought, convenient for the plot, how realistic, that'll be for you to decide. But that was the second book that I liked, so I guess the third ranked book. The last two are not Star Wars. My second ranked book that I liked was Robert Jordan's book 2 of The Wheel of Time, The Great Hunt. And this is a book about us. Yeah, this is a book with the story continuing with Rand, Mat, Perrin, Egwene, Nynaeve, Moiraine, and Lan a little bit. They're not in it a whole lot. I wish they were in it a lot more. But a horn has been stolen, as well as a dagger that Mat needs to survive. And so the gang is sent to find this horn. Rand is really coming to grips with who he is. He's resistant against it. And then the girls are being trained to become Aes Sedai. And both groups get themselves into a lot of problems. And it was interesting to see how Robert Jordan wove their stories together, how they would sort of come back together and then split up again, and then come back together and split up. He introduced some new characters in this book that I really enjoyed. Varen, Hurin, and Celine, I thought were interesting characters. But this is my second favorite book that I read this month, Robert Jordan's book 2, The Great Hunt of the Wheel of Time. And my favorite book that I read is one that is more recent, certainly, but it's Andy Weir's Project Hail Mary. This was definitely my favorite book that I read. I rated this a 4.5 out of 5. Now, I'm reserving the fact to bring that up to a 5 out of 5, but I've not read a whole lot of science fiction. So as far as I know, this is about like as good as it gets. So don't judge me too much. But Dr. Grace wakes up in space. He doesn't know why he got there. He doesn't know how he got there. He doesn't know his purpose for being there. And watching him learn through flashbacks, learn through just genuine human ingenuity, I loved. And so this is a book that really shows if somebody, now obviously he knows math, he knows science, Dr. Grace, and Andy Weir does as well, but our character, but it kind of felt like if just a normal guy woke up in space, he would do exactly what any normal person would do, which is just try to figure it out. Now, it would help if you are a physicist, which is what Dr. Grace is, but this has got just a great redemption arc. It's got a great fate of the world arc, and it's got a great buddy cop arc in the sense of Rocky, who is like the best. So this is the best book that I read this month, my favorite, Andy Weir's Project Hail Mary. Have you read those books? What did you read this past month in the month of March? And what do you think I should add on my TBR for the upcoming months? Thanks so much for watching. If you're curious and interested, you can like and subscribe, and we're going to keep the story going. We're going to keep reading, and we're going to keep learning and enjoying these stories. So thank you so much, and we'll get back together in the next video.